What's going on, everybody? It's Frito here for your Overwatch. Dafran, did he just pull off the greatest troll of all time, or was the troll itself a troll? Trollception, if you will. We've got Aimbotcalvin turning down 150 big ones. The Overwatch World Cup brackets were announced. I want to discuss that. And console players, there's a major change coming that you're going to want to know about, and we'll get to that at the end of the video. First up, as we've reported before, King Michael reported that Dafran got picked up by the expansion Overwatch League team Atlanta, and with multiple leaks coming true, you have to imagine whatever source he has inside the Overwatch League is reliable. But despite everyone getting excited, because Dafran is such a skilled player and an entertaining personality combined, Dafran pulled the rug straight from under us, mocking Michael, saying the entire thing was a troll. Or is it? You'll have to decide for yourself. Here's the first clip where he says, "It was all just a prank, bro."
You guys really think I was gonna join Overwatch League? You guys really think that? Also, I just want to thank Michael. Michael, you have been a great peon. You've been a great piece of the puzzle. Thank you, Michael.
Seems convincing, right? Seems like a typical Dafran thing to do. I mean, he said he was joining the Florida Mayhem as a troll. Why wouldn't this be a troll? However, Michael has yet to be proven wrong on a roster signing leak, and he's still convinced. But also, there is possibly this bit of a slip-up as Dafran's playing on stream, trying to learn new heroes, having a discussion with legendary Genji player Shatter2K, and it's hard to say, is this more trolling, or was this actually a mistake? Here's the clip.
It's the same. You know how to play Genji, right?
Yeah.
You'll never forget. So why even play him anymore? You know?
True.
That's
Well,
fantastic.
but it's like you don't need to play Tracer to keep up with your Tracer skills. But learning a new hero, like if you don't play him, you forget him. But why play Doomfit? Why not? I don't know. Learn. Well, you don't need to learn other heroes like Widow maybe, because your Widow is.
Widow is not fun.
Dude, you lose to my Widow. How is that fast?
Yeah, I give up on Widow. I don't play. It's not fun, dude.
Okay. Overwatch League is not about fun. It's about winning.
Yeah, but I'm not joining Overwatch League. Oh my god.
So the thing to remember with this entire situation is that without the team Atlanta being announced at all yet, at least not officially with their official roster, it's not really Dafran's place to out whether he's on the team or not. And given the state of things, I'm willing to bet Dafran took a double dip on this troll. I think he actually is signed to Atlanta, but he still wanted to squeeze out as much trolling juice attention as he could, and who can blame him? We all gave it to him. Well played, Dafran. But just as well, it wouldn't be crazy for a streamer to decide not to go into the Overwatch League, even if they do like competing. Of course, we know Seagull recently retired after a strenuous first year in OWL to go into streaming full-time. And also, there's this rather shocking clip of Aimbotcalvin admitting that he turned down $150,000 to play in the Overwatch League Season 1.
The road isn't about money? Oh, of course not. That's why I didn't do it. That's why I didn't do OWL either. I turned down 150K, bro. Last season.
The thing is with all of this is that even if a professional team were to pay a streamer more than they would have earned on their own stream, it's a lot more work and a lot harder to grind into the Overwatch League than it is to continue doing the stream that you're already doing, constantly building your own brand and maintaining yourself, not having to answer to anybody and not having to do the hard work that is being a competitor. Which brings me back to the Dafran situation. I could really see it going either way. Dafran is a great streamer, a really chill personality, but he may also just have that competitive itch and want to compete. But at the same time, in a given meta, you simply just have to learn the most important heroes, and if you can't compete, you're not going to start, or you may not even be able to keep your spot on the bench. For example, I think Dafran's soldier tracking is hands down the absolute best that I've ever seen in my entire life, but I don't know necessarily where I rate any of his other heroes. For Dafran, his best heroes might be Tracer and Soldier, so if he wants a serious shot in OWL, he needs to start picking up other heroes like Doomfist, for example, which we did see him practicing. So, best of luck to Dafran in his future OWL endeavors or troll endeavors. Either one will entertain us, I'm sure. On to other news, the Overwatch World Cup brackets were drawn, and here's what the round of 8 looks like. As you guys know, I think the two best teams are USA and South Korea, stacking the right side. But don't worry, I do have some good news for the UK and Australia. At least those players get a free trip to BlizzCon. Okay, if you weren't prepared for the trash talk, strap in because it's only getting worse. On the other end of the bracket, we have France going up against Canada and China taking on Finland. All these games should be fairly close, but I think it will heavily depend on what the meta is, so it's difficult for me to predict. Whereas the other end of the bracket, the disparity, I think, between the teams is meta immune. But when it's all said and done, I'm going to take the coaching strength of Jane to overcome Team France, seeing Canada progress into the semifinals. And between China and Finland, we saw that Finland kind of badly needs a tank meta in order for their 303 composition to really get rolling. But they also have a nasty double sniper setup. And the players of China are definitely no slouches, so I don't think this will necessarily be a cakewalk. But with the Overwatch League experience heavily favoring Finland, I really struggle to pick China in that matchup. So unless Finland comes out flat on the day, I think they go forward as well. Now, the biggest matchup of them all is the one that I think many of us should expect to see, and that's USA versus South Korea. I think it is the best two teams in the entire bracket. Some comments from Team USA. Coach Arrow said that he would have even wanted to see them in the round of 8, but will take facing them in the semifinals. USA player Zachary was disappointed that they'll have to farm UK in order to get to Korea in the semis, not seeing them in the finals, which would be the hypest way for the bracket to work out. But man, what do you guys think? Is this hubris or justified confidence? I've made an entirely separate video about this matchup in a bit more depth, but in short, I think Muma and Space are simply too good. And despite the absolute insane prodigy of a support player in Jonak for Team South Korea, Raucus, although can't stack up head-to-head mechanically, just makes plays with his abilities and has a really strong game sense approach to Ana that will rival the value that even Jonak puts out, which is important because if we were in a Zen meta, this would be an entirely separate conversation. Zenyatta gives Jonak a much bigger window to show off how much mechanically better he is than everybody else, because you simply just do damage all the time, but Ana is a bit more contextual and cooldown based rather than just raw aim that you can get out of a Zen like Jonak. So yeah, I think they're taking it. I'm not saying it won't be close, but I am picking USA. And if they do win it, of course, you'd have to favor them winning the whole thing. On to our last bit of news, console players. You're going to want to listen up to this one. Corporate Vice President of Xbox Microsoft, Mike Ybarra, tweeted out this: mouse and keyboard is very close to coming to Xbox console. Lots of developer options to ensure fairness and a great experience. Choice in the hands of the developer to do multiplayer pools, controller only or keyboard and mouse only, a mixed queue, etc. This is coming soon and very important, and we wonder how Overwatch is going to handle this being an issue. And I'm sure every console player has an opinion on this, because from what I gather, most of them don't want mouse and keyboard anywhere near their multiplayer experience, because if you're playing on console, you probably want to play with a controller, so doing some sort of Fortnite mixed queue thing where you have a massive disadvantage because you're playing on a controller versus mouse and keyboard users who have the freedom of movement and just can play the game in a much faster and accurate way, I know it really drops the experience for a lot of those players who fit into that camp. But as well, if I didn't have a PC, I think I personally would be excited at the opportunity to take the game more seriously and play with a mouse and keyboard. There's a ton of benefits to unlocking that way of playing for Overwatch because the player bases would feel less separated, I think. We'd hear far less complaints that a character like Pharah is way too good on console, and the experience could be much closer between console and PC. You could even switch between the two without really noticing too much, other than the fact that on console, some players are using a device that sort of anchors and slows down their ability to play the game, making it a bit unfair. But hey, I know that there's players out there that I've seen even in the Overwatch Open division that use a controller for their movement on PC and a mouse for their aim. So it isn't impossible to incorporate those thumbsticks and paddles into your play experience. I'm sure you guys have a lot of opinions on all of the things that I covered here today. Please let us know what you think, console players or Dafran fans. Do you think I'm crazy thinking Team USA is going to win it all this year? Let us know down below. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave it a like. It really does help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you haven't already, please subscribe subscribe because we do upload each and every day, so you're going to want to hit the bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Link to the description is our Twitter, where we tweet out news, updates, and dank memes. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.